Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Monday. Mark, it kind of feels like nearly our last Monday mashup of the season. It's been a heck of a journey this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been mad, hasn't it? It's flown in as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've put in quite the shift, as they say. So probably this is the second last one actually, because we probably have one next Monday to discuss next weekend's results and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
for the
yeah.
for the penultimate time, walk our viewers and subscribers through it. The Hogan Elite Trophy, who are our sponsor this season for the Monday mashup.
Yeah, like I always say, lads, get on the socials and go on Insta, give us a follow, give us a like on Facebook. Big summer ahead, starting off this Saturday down in Athenroy with the Manchester United Legends. The trophies are going to be down there with Wes Brown, Lee Sharp, players like this. Obviously, we Tony on last week discussing it and stuff like that. And we'll get him on again during the summer as well to chat about it. But there's amazing events coming up, and obviously confirmations, communions, weddings. Of a wedding on the 3rd of July now as well here in Lucan and Spa Hotel. So loads coming up. So if you have any events coming up at all, just give us a hit on. Hit us up on socials or give me a WhatsApp on my numbers on the Facebook page and Insta as well. So
Absolutely, check it out and make sure if you do have that special occasion and you'd like the trophies to be there, Mark's the man to get on to. He'll look after you and stuff like that. And yeah, absolutely. That episode last week we did with Tony was well received. I got lots of really good feedback talking
the
about the old stories and all that kind of stuff. And also, I think by and
class one.
large everyone loved it. So it's great to have him on. We'll have him on more often going forward and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. So
100%.
really, really, really good to see it. So before we get into the fixtures over the weekend, just to let you know, at the moment it's 2-1 to Liverpool. It's half time at Villa Park. A very, very, very open game at this stage. Villa have missed a couple of chances. Liverpool have missed a couple of chances as well. Could have been 3-4. Who knows? So should be an interesting second half. Villa under
Like I said,
pressure to cement. Go on.
did someone miss an open goal or something? I just seeing a
Yeah,
replay
yeah,
there. Was a
yeah. The Diego Carlos missed an
Carlos? Jesus,
absolute goal line miss, a goal
no
line miss, as they
way.
say. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, interesting stuff. And obviously, Villa on the verge of Champions League football, and I'd love to see Champions League football back at Villa Park next season. I think
it'd be great.
it'd
Imagine the
be cool.
music there and
Yeah,
all. But come here,
yeah,
cause I'm gonna hop on the laptop now. It's charged up, so I'm gonna leave this and I'll just jump on the laptop. Right,
yep.
2 seconds.
Go ahead, you
Two
fire away
seconds.
and come back in when you're ready. Yeah, I'll go through the comments. William, thanks for joining us, my friend. What's up, lads? Tolga has been saved. Up the Reds. There you go. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Baz is in. Evening, lads. What's the crack? How are you, Barry? Hope you're having a good evening. Craig is in. Good evening, lads. Big up, Craig. Thanks for joining us. And the legend himself is in. Warren's team talk. Big up, Warren. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, lads. I was just saying, Warren, you were one of the guys that gave me some feedback on Tony's episode and all, how we really enjoyed the old stories and stuff like that. Classic, classic, classic stuff. Stories that you couldn't buy for any amount of money. Now, joining us back in from Stockley Park.
Back again, lads. Back
Look,
again.
look at how quick we came back with that VAR decision. Why
See
can't the
that?
Premier League do it?
What's
And
happening? I was just saying William said about Talca Park there. Yeah, I was
yeah,
delighted to see they got a new 250-year lease off the Dublin City
mm,
Council. So unbelievable news
yeah,
for Shelburne.
absolutely, absolutely, 100%. And also, Romy One Kenobi is in. Hey, all, good to see you, my friend.
Probably one.
Yeah,
What's the story, man?
yeah. And Acers is in. Old toilet was leaking heavily. Like Jesus, Acers,
He's gone in
Acers.
there, hasn't he?
Good
Oh,
Lord.
lads. He's gone in there
Caught
hard,
me
man.
unawares there. I didn't read the end bit there. You got away with that one, Ace. Strike one. Big up, Rowan. Good to see you. Well,
Bro, what's the
lads.
story, man?
Craig Murphy, 31 Liverpool. Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
3
3-1
1.
Liverpool, is it?
3-1 Liverpool. It's not 3-1 Liverpool to me here, yeah, Craig, but that's just saying, you know yourself. But yeah, it could be 3-1 Liverpool if Craig is saying it. There we
Could
go. Big
be.
up, Craig.
Harvey Elliott
Daz is
selling
in.
over
What's the
free
crack,
kicks.
Niall? How are
How
you,
you,
Daz? Hope
Daz?
you're having a good weekend and all that good stuff. Monday, as always. Romy One Kenobi, what's the story? Morning Glory just wrapped up another La Liga. Yeah, listen, congrats as well,
Unreal.
by the way. You know what I mean? And listen,
Yeah, it was a header at the back post, goes 3-1, yeah.
there you go. Who got the header?
Who was it? He's after running
Tell
on.
me, Joe Gomez. No.
Number 78, is it? Who was that? They're all around him now. And it's just gone off to Emery. Shot of Emery, not looking too happy. Great ball in by Harvey Elliott, I think it was.
Jarrell Kwanzaa, my
Kwanzaa,
boy. I've
yeah,
been
the back
talking about him
postman.
all season. Jarrell Kwanzaa.
Or was it
There
Trent?
we go.
Yeah, it was Harvey Elliott. Great ball in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's well on side. Leaked
Craig,
very, very well.
thank you
He's
very
kind of
much, Craig. That's made my night now. I've been on the Jarrell Kwanzaa train for a long, long time now. All
great leap
season.
by him, and the way
Yeah.
it was, it's like it was going beyond him, but he jumps up and heads it. It just hits off the back post and goes in.
He's a monster of a player as well, Mark. He's a big boy.
You could see it there. Delighted with it. So yeah, 3-1. Only 2 minutes into the second half.
He knows him. What's the crack, Niall? Elvis on the pod. Pat McAfee now on podcast screens for Thursday Tier Talk. Absolutely.
That must be the close up on the phone, you're saying.
Yeah, Duffers will be a happy boy then. Absolutely.
Big time.
Don't get him to see out 250 years though. Well, I will never.
No, but listen, it's a great start. Hopefully, you can work on the stadium because the atmosphere is incredible down there. The fans they get down there and the numbers they have, and it's been fantastic. Still top of the league just about, but it's been a great season overall for them.
Do you know the last time I was in Talca Park? I'll give you a story.
Liverpool game or something, was it? Remember they used to come over here?
It was 95, I think it was, and Liverpool were over on a pre-season tour against Shelbourne. And you want to see the band that Ruddock walked out, right? And Ruddock was like, Ruddock, pre-season came out. You want to see the guff the Shells fans get absolutely tore into them. This is different gravy of fat shaming. Different gravy.
United used to be down there, and I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Dream Team from Sky One played a match down there. They were doing a bit of filming and they ended up playing a match against Shells.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Back in the day, yeah. And for everyone who can remember Dream Team, it was unreal.
Didier Baptiste.
Do you remember? Yeah.
Didier Baptiste.
But Stephen Kenny, I read it. It's a mad one, Acers, because obviously he was linked with the Dundalk job, and now he got it. But there's talk of Gartland's after leaving his position now at Dundalk, so there's talk of him going in the backroom team as well. So it'll be interesting. Listen, it'd be great to see him back in the league, but it'd be interesting to see what Pats are paying him.
Do you know what it is with Kenny? I'd imagine he just wants to be involved in football. I'm not saying he's going to be cheap. I'm not saying he doesn't know his value, whatever that value is, based on what we've seen and stuff like that. But he's of reasonable value to the Irish league.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I'm delighted. If the rumours are true, I'd be delighted to see him come back in. He'd be a great asset to the league. And you look at the likes of Stephen Bradley and Duffer there, and Noel King's involved as well. And with Dundalk, he's a big job there to try get points on the board for them. But I think he'll bring an awful lot of confidence and lift to St. Pat's, and it's much needed at this stage of the season.
It was Klopp who scored the header. Give over. Get a yellow card. He'd be banned for the last game.
Hopefully he doesn't get booked for a celebration.
Warren's in God help St. Pat's Acers.
I know. In fairness, Warren, I know international wise what happened. Ollie Watkins just scored 3-2.
Told you, Villa. This game is wide open.
This could be 5-5 or something by the looks of it. Yeah. But I think if you look at it, Warren, his stats with Dundalk, and I know he had a bit of a not so great time with Shamrock Rovers, but he is a real good League of Ireland manager. So just I'd say it'd be a good appointment for Pats, to be fair.
Yeah, let me know if that goal stands, folks. There's a VAR check. Alison Becker's going on.
Possible offside.
Yeah, there's 2 of them offside. Well, at least one anyway.
Wait, they're zoomed in to Trent and John McGinn, I think it is there, is it?
The guy who scored originally was offside. I can see this getting real.
He's a yard or 2 off. He is.
Yeah, he's well off.
Who's it, Leon Bailey?
Not too sure. It was Watkins who picked it up, was it?
Who's he shouting at? Yeah, Leon Bailey, and is it Ollie Watkins are having a big argument now?
Yeah, I think for me he's offside anyway. They'd have to roll that back because he was the goal scorer as well, I'd imagine. 2
of them are having an argument there. I don't
know what they're possible offside. Are these lads sponsored by Specsavers or what's the story? This game was
wait. Casemiro was playing him onside. I can see it here now.
Casemiro's in the first row behind the goal.
Yeah, it's ruled out offside.
Yeah, offside disallowed. Yeah, absolutely. The game is wide open like Neverland Ranch. We're on fire tonight, lads. We're on fire tonight, I tell you.
Rowley won.
I reckon Romy One Kenobi waits for these shows, and he has lots of stuff written down ready to go for all different parameters and stuff like that. They know how we operate anyway.
Yeah,
Looks offside 100%. To me
percent.
as he was a mile offside. This is John Fury fight settings on it. Yeah, see him loafing your man today.
That was mad.
That lad has lost his mind. Does this mean we will see Darren McCumsey doing commentary on WWE SmackDown? You could do. What we might do is we're going to have a little shift in the summer with the shows and stuff like that. And we're going to see Darren will definitely want to be on the wrestling shows throughout the summer. Liverpool setting up for Ange Ball. Good high line. There you go. We got it right, though. I got my WWE script. There you go. I like it.
Does this mean that Morris is going to be frequenting Inchicore a little bit more now?
No.
If the appointments of a certain Stephen Kenny is made.
Morris is too busy now trying to get elected.
We're seeing that. Yeah, fair play, Morris. Fair play to you.
There we go.
Up the Black Cat.
Just so this doesn't purely become a Villa Liverpool watch along, let's discuss the weekend.
Villa went straight back on the attack there. Alisson Becker. Oh, played one out. It comes to Bailey. He hits it to Watkins, tried to backheel it. Douglas Luiz is right behind him in a great position. And he tries to backheel it in, but that should have been a goal.
Let's roll it down. Let's start off. Fulham 0, Man City 4. I made the point about this game, Mark. It wasn't even about winning. That was an obligation. It was about bringing in that goal difference.
Oh yeah, big time. And listen, we know how well Fulham have been playing of late, but you always just felt like if even they get a draw, that'd be an amazing result for them. But it's this time of the season where City know what to do and they know what's at stake. It's like they're in autopilot. They're like robots there, and it was a bit case of how many they were going to get in the end, wasn't it? It was just. Absolutely. But Fulham, it kind of doesn't do them justice over their performances over the last few weeks and months and all. They've been doing really well, so they can be very proud of themselves the last 6 months or so. But yeah, City just on fire, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Acers in Euros, and Copa America reviews. Acers, even footballers get a summer off, sometimes. Go easy there now, go easy. Next one up was an interesting one I read afterwards. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 2. That late winner by Brentford, but it was on the back of this. Apparently Thomas Frank is his father who passed away, was it?
Yeah,
on Friday or something like that. But he still wanted to go through with the game and stuff like that. And this celebration at the end was quite poignant and stuff like that. And also, delighted Brentford picked up the win.
And it was a very, very end-to-end game. Like Solanke had 2 goals ruled out VAR in the first half. I think one was offside, one was a foul. Oh no, sorry, it was one a handball and one was a foul, I think, or something like that. And Brentford played really, really well starting off because Bournemouth have, again, a bit like Fulham, gone on a decent run as of late and stuff like that, and very hard to play against, especially in the Vitality Stadium. And Brentford have been, as we know, hit and miss. They're right down there when you look at it. But they never gave up, and it was a great finish by Vissa in the top corner. It was from a tight angle in the 95th minute as well. So.
Yeah, it's been a massive. The Brentford one is a weird one because the massive drop off has happened on the return of Ivan Toney, which no one expected.
Yeah. Did you see when he was pushed over for the penalty? But it wasn't a penalty. He was waiting for that little bit of a contact, and fair play to VAR and the referee. I think they made the right decision in the end.
Do you know the funny thing about it? Earlier in the season, even if you're waiting for the contact and it happens, you will get the decision. It's changed a bit, hasn't it? There is a bit of a change.
They're copping on a little bit, aren't they? Like
just a little bit, I would say. Everton 1, Sheffield United 0.
Yeah, like you look at Everton over the last 10 games, they've just been amazing, like picking up results and not necessarily always playing, really, really extensive and expansive football, but they're getting the results over the line, and that's the main thing in this end of the season. And you have to say fair play to Sean Dyche, and it really was a good win. And someone I always give stick to, there's Tom Hanks in the crowd in Villa Park. Someone I always give stick to is Jordan Pickford, and I think he's been. Yeah, he's in. Tom Hanks is in the crowd there.
He was taking pictures with the fans earlier beforehand.
Was he? He probably So Pickford, like I always give him a lot of stick, but I think he's been vital for them in the last few weeks. He's pulled off some really, really, really vital saves. really important stages and games and stuff like that. So, from a Sheffield United point of view, it's one of those games again where they just didn't take their chances and they hit the bar, they hit the post, and it was good to see a young Sam Curtis coming on at right full for them. He made his Premier League debut, obviously signed for St. Pat's. I actually know Eddie Stars, who coached him at Park Villa up in Navan. So he had told me about him when he was signing for Pats. He said, keep an eye out on this kid. He's going to go up to England. Eddie's a mad Liverpool. Oh, here's Liverpool on the attack again. Elliot,
potentially. Onside or off? Far check for offside.
I think Salah might have got the last touch. Did he? He looked like he was. But sorry, Eddie's a big Liverpool fan, so I say he was hoping he would have signed for Liverpool, but he went over to Sheffield United, and it was great to see him come on and get his debut on Saturday. And it's a bit mad because
offside.
He came on, and obviously he's a future right full for Ireland, and it was great to see that Seamus Coleman got a 1-year extension on his contract for Everton as well. So it was almost like a little passing of the torch, him coming on and being on the same pitch with Coleman for a few minutes,
And, good to see Seamus being offered another year after the year that he's had been practically out for most of the season with that bad injury and stuff like that. So,
do you know what? He is a class act. He when he was injured, he used to go down to like the Everton under 8s and under 10s trainings on a Saturday morning and just show his face and help the kids out and stuff like that. They're little things that you don't necessarily hear about every week, but during his injury, he was going down and doing that, and it's fantastic to see. And he's just such a gentleman, such a professional. I think a lot of players can look at him and take note because he's one of a dying breed, let's say,
Yeah, absolutely. It should the under 8s and under 10s be about the same, so is it anyway. So neither here nor there, So, but yeah, no, it is good. Like I do, like I have to say, with the career that he's had and stuff like that, and the loyalty that he has shown and stuff like that, and
it'd be fairly apt, wouldn't it, in the last season in Goodison next year, and it's his last year with the club. If he could bring some sort of success to Goodison Park in its last season,
Okay, let's not get too carried away now. Yeah,
yeah. I just thought
Newcastle 1, Brighton 1.
Yeah, watch this, and it was obviously looked like a scorcher of a day up in Newcastle, but obviously Veltman getting the goal, he done very, very well. There was like 2 or 3 players around him, and he opens the scoring, and you just think like Brighton. I know, yeah. Aces, don't even get me started. Brighton, like I've spoken about Brighton this season, they've been too inconsistent for me. It looked like a few weeks ago they were already on the beach, and the last few games they're actually like thinking, all right, we might just try cause a few upsets here before the end of the season. We can't get relegated, we can't qualify for Europe, so we might try cause a few upsets. But yeah, in fairness, Newcastle came back. He's should have scored. He should have chipped the keeper. They have a goal ruled out, I think, as well. Did they? VAR? I'm nearly sure as well. Yeah,
they did.
And then obviously Longstaff getting the equaliser. I think it was the 5th minute of added time in the first half, and you would have thought that would have given them a bit of a boost. But I think the second half there was a few chances either side, and I think a draw was a fair result in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. The next 2 games were very interesting for me because I thought we were going to have relegation battle going till the last day of the season.
Yeah.
And then it all fell asunder because Burnley took the lead against Spurs. Spurs obviously coming back 2-1. And Luton took the lead against West Ham, and West Ham coming back 3-1.
Yeah. And the 2 goals by the Spurs lads again, Porro and Van der Ven. Like, remember the 2 crackers they scored a few weeks ago? Elliot Delboy. Remember the 2 crackers they scored a few weeks ago? And like another 2 cracking goals. Lads, Van der Ven's goal, he looked like a striker. The way he finished it, he didn't look like a centre half up there. It was unbelievable. But yeah, like when Burnley went 1-0 up, I had a feeling, I think Joanne might have mentioned it in the comments on Thursday night that she thought Burnley were going to do them. And I fully agreed. Like, it's just the way Burnley have been playing and the way Spurs have been uncertain over the last few weeks. But again, it was just... It was squeaky bum time for a little while, but listen, they got back into it with 2 unbelievable goals from 2 lads at the back, and they march on now to tomorrow night. Massive game for them, especially if this result keeps going the way it is.
Yeah. The effects on the pod are just awesome, bro. Cheers, pal. And
Is he
Morris
talking
is
about
in.
the way we look or the actual effects on screen? Is
Probably a combination of the two. Morris is in. Handy win for Ange tomorrow night. I don't know about that, Morris. I wouldn't be too good. Maybe Ange is listening to the podcast. Maybe put Mickey Van de Ven up front and maybe Trouter Charlison in defence. I'd be happy enough with that, all right.
Could do.
Yeah,
Get
that'd be
Gary
pretty
Mabba
good.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolves 1, Crystal Palace 3. Glasner doing an absolute sterling job. Palace fans do not want this season to end. And did you see the news today?
About Munich.
Bayern Munich trying to get him out of there for 18 million, and Crystal Palace said, no, we want 100 million. 100 million in compensation for a manager. Where is this game going? Where is this game going?
And he's experienced in Germany, obviously, what he's done with Frankfurt and stuff like that, so he's got the experience there. And the way he's gotten Palace playing over the last few weeks has been just unbelievable. Like, obviously, it's easy when, not easy, but, the job is a little bit easier when you've Eze and Elise there, I don't know whether they'll be there next season or not, but Elise's finish was unbelievable. That first goal, and listen, Wolves got they created a few chances, but Palace just looked dominant throughout, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even when Cunha scored that goal.
I think looking at it as well, there's been I'm not taking that away from Glasner at all, but I think there's been a tad bit of look there. He's had some key players have come back and they've been able to find their rhythm with a full squad at the moment and stuff. So that's been really, really key as well. Obviously, Elise's been missing for a huge chunk of the season, and since he's come back in, and he was their key guy before he went out. So it's great for him. It's great for Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace, funny enough, even as a Liverpool fan, Crystal Palace is always a team that I tend to look to and stuff like that. I like to look at their results and stuff like that. Because it's just those trips to Selhurst Park and all, they're tough and stuff like that. But again, Glasner doing a fantastic job, unbelievable.
I love Sellers hasn't really
and something at a time where so many teams are potentially changing managers. And all this talk about the manager market, and obviously not at the elite level and all this kind of stuff. There's Palace who went out and they're after finding Glasner, unhooking him, bringing him in, and look at the job he's doing. So can you imagine the job he would be doing? No disrespect to Crystal Palace, but if he took up a position at Liverpool or at United or whatever it is and had that backing and that level of player and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So just goes to show you there is managers out there you can find. They may not be they may not be Klopp, Ancelotti or Pep, but there is managers out there who are really, really good and can be unearthed, and with the right back and they can deliver what people want and stuff like that. So fantastic.
And then in 10 years, people be mentioning their names as they are now with the likes of Klopp and stuff like that,
Absolutely. Well, the minute you step up to a big club, that's when it all changes, doesn't it? So,
exactly.
Forest 2, Chelsea 3.
Yeah, it was my game. Sorry, just on the West Ham game as well. I was expecting Luton to get something out of that. I really, really was. Obviously, with West Ham kind of change of managers at the end of the season, news broke out about that and stuff like that. But you look back at West Ham's season, like you look from December, that 5-0 defeat in Craven Cottage. I think since then it started to kind of dip. They were found out slightly. They were trying to catch teams on the break. They've had moments, players like Kudus having special moments, but I think overall the writing was on the wall for them, particularly as well when they went on that run in Europe as well with the squad that they have. So, but yeah, for Luton, I was expecting a lot more from them than they actually gave on Saturday.
Kudus heavily linked with Liverpool today as well in the news.
Really,
I don't know if you're saying it, heavily linked with us and stuff like that. So not sure what that means. Yeah, well, it'll be an interesting one because he plays in the Salah position, doesn't he? So it would be interesting to see. Is it an indication of something there that we know or whatever it is? Who knows? But yeah, and it's sad to see Moisey going out like that. Obviously, landing the European trophy there the previous season and stuff, but. Be sad to see him. Move out.
I don't think he'd be out of work for too long, though. Someone will pick him up, especially with the merry-go-round of managers that we always see during the summer. So I don't think he'd be out of a job for too long.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nuno, Forest 2, Chelsea 3. Poch starting to find his position in Chelsea, and in terms of setting them up. What have you made of this? Like this Chelsea form at the moment, I looked at it there earlier. If you look at points in 2020, 2024, they're 1, 2, 3, 4th in the league.
Yeah, and I'm glad you picked a picture of Mr. Palmer because I think he's been a big hand in why they've done that. You see the ball he played for Mudryk for the opening goal, unbelievable. That's world class,
Beautiful finish as well, in fairness.
It was a great finish, and he's a player that needed that type of goal on Saturday evening, because there's been a lot of people giving him stick this season, but he's finding a bit of form. Even Sterling getting on the score sheet as well with a good finish. But listen, Forest caused them problems. They absolutely caused them problems. And they do that. I said it here before. You look at that Newcastle game in February, and it's against us there as well. Like, they do create chances and score. Obviously, Chris Wood missed another one from 4 yards out, went straight over the bar, and you're looking at it going, Jesus Christ, man. Remember, he missed 2 a few weeks ago there as well. But
maybe the fake statement that came out was true.
But listen, great win by Chelsea, and they're on some form at the minute. Possibly it might be a little bit too late to climb into the major European spots. It might have been slightly a bit too late, but it's better late than never. They needed that confidence, and I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans out there that who were wishing Poch goodbye are hoping they hold on to him now, and they build on that during the summer. And of course, don't forget they've had a lot of injuries as well, so they've had a lot of injuries to contend with, and shoehorn players into positions and all.
Yeah, I think it'll more be a kind of a case. If you looked at his interview there the other day as well, it was kind of like, well, if I stay, well and good, and if I don't stay, whatever kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Have they made a decision? Have they checked out on him already, regardless of the form? I'm not too sure. Moyes will be great for the Ireland job.
Apparently, they're looking at him for Scotland though. After the Euros. That's what I heard anyway.
He'd be another one that wouldn't be in the realms of the FAI budget. Sure, he wouldn't.
Nah,
he must be on decent money, wouldn't he?
And don't forget, because of that win, he's a European winning manager now as well. So that adds a bit of value to his name as well.
Yeah, the only thing I think maybe for Moisey, maybe a bit of international management will go down well from that it's not as intense and not as consistent.
Yeah, I think he's at that age now where it'd be probably good for him international football as well and maybe go back into club football after, but take a few years as an international manager. It's not as much stress as much as day-to-day work, and he has his kids and his grandkids and all there now, so maybe it'd be the right time to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say football has aged him, because from the age of 25 he's always looked 90, so it doesn't matter.
When he was playing at Preston, he looked like an over 35s player,
That's right, absolutely, yeah. It's like those, those posts you see at the moment. You sent me one the other day about that 16-year-old. He looks about 25.
That was unbelievable,
mad, isn't it? They need to check these. They need to check these bird sites. Warren, I remember I nutmegged him once in a match at school. It was mad.
Love it, Warren.
Like that, Warren. I like that. And Daz is saying good save by Allison. Was a very good save by Allison there, actually. So then we went to yesterday. What do we say about yesterday? Man United 0, Arsenal 1. How weird was this game?
I'd just say it's probably one of the worst games I've seen in a long time. Both teams are terrible. I don't know if the heat had anything to do with it or whatever. And my sister Rebecca and her fella Curtis were over there, And I think that, were you saying Dazza was over there? I think you were saying on Thursday.
Yeah, Darren was there with Brody, yeah.
And but it was just a poor performance by both teams. I was half expecting, when I seen the team coming out at 3:30. I rang my dad, and Yvonne Craig is in the chat, and Yvonne's other brother Dano came over here to watch it there, both Arsenal fans, and I said to them, lads, you could stick any amount again. Like I said, you get revenge for the 8-2 if you need it here, because I just thought it'd be curtains for us. And we started off, the ball didn't seem to leave our left back area for the first 10 minutes. Like, they were just putting pressure on us. Hoyland had that opportunity when he slipped, and you think, right, we might grab one or two opportunities here, but I said to the lads, it looked like a United Churches League game at times. The football was terrible from both sides. For me, obviously, the goal, Casemiro, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. If you've seen his face, his reactions after, I think I would have personally played on McTominay. Had a good game pressing Arsenal. I thought he done very well, but I think I would have played him centre half ahead of Casemiro, giving him an opportunity. He's done it before with the academy and stuff like that. He's done it with Scotland and in the international stage. So I would have done that personally myself, and probably push Casemiro into midfield, but be less damaging, But and especially with McTominay there, he's more legs than Casemiro, especially with an aging Johnny Evans beside him. So that was one move I would have possibly made as well. But like, I know Martinez is back training, but obviously he's got one eye on the FA Cup, keeping them wrapped up in cotton wool, thinking about the FA Cup, because that's our season in one game to win a trophy is that game. And, you know, Europe is gone for us. So it's just, and obviously, listen, you see scenes at the end when it's pissing rain and the water's coming through the roof. That tells you the signs of how we are on and off the pitch at the minute, you know?
Yeah, I suppose when you look at it, I mean, it's you guys are in a really, really difficult position at the moment. I mean, you know, fundamentally, there's problems all over the club. And you know, there was certain things that you could hang on to yesterday. Obviously, Amrabat did very well.
Yeah, he did.
You
He
know,
gave
there was
away.
there was there
He
was there
gave us
was
stupid passes at times, like 10-yard passes that weren't
mm,
even reaching. One went out to play for a throw and stuff. But I thought he stepped up to the plate. I thought it was one of his better games. If I'm not honest with you,
yeah,
it's something we needed. You look at our bench, you know, other than Ericsson and Anthony, and obviously Willie coming back. Obviously, he wasn't fit enough to start the game. He came on and not like forcing us there. As a United fan, I knew the rest of the bench, but Dano and Craig were looking at going, "Who the hell are them lads?" Like, you know, that sort of way.
mm.
Like, it's just, like Chelsea. Listen, we've had our injuries and stuff like that, but like, there are times where you're looking at it going, lads, you have to step up to the plate here. You know, we have injuries, we have a squad here for a reason, and they haven't been doing it. And the lads that you think would bring something to the table aren't, and it's been the story of our season. You know, I felt a bit for Hoyland. There's not many balls coming up to him. He looks isolated at times. And very frustrating for him. You know, people have been comparing to Haaland, but you look what Haaland has around him in terms of supply and stuff. It's like night and day when you think about it.
Mm.
It's
Well,
just,
look. We've seen matches for City as well where other players have had to step up. Where Haaland, if he doesn't get the supply he needs, he goes through games. We've
yeah,
seen it. So
yeah,
it's the same for Hoyland somewhat. The one thing I would like to see Hoyland do, if the game is not going his way, and I know he's very young still as well, but if the game is not going his way and he's not getting what he wants, maybe do like what Kane does. And I know Kane obviously has that experience to drop back in and make himself involved in the game
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah. Like,
I think
and
I
he,
think there's I think if he's your focal point, I think not getting involved in the game and just saying you're not getting the service. You got to do something more than that if you're going to be the striker for Man United.
yeah,
And I just
100%.
I
Like,
just expect a bit more out. But this season obviously gets a pass. So much shit going on and stuff like that.
like,
All and look,
you look, like you said, it's experience. Kane was doing that even when he was on loan at Leicester City. Like, he had to do that, and he's gotten better at it with age and with experience under his belt. And I think that will come with Hoyland as well. So I'm hoping, but I just at this stage, like I say, get to the FA Cup final. You know, don't get embarrassed by City, and we move on to next season. That's how I'm feeling at the minute. It's just the Newcastle game and the Brighton, just a right. Just forget it. Like I said, try keep players fit. Don't bring back players too soon. And keep them for the FA Cup final. And like I said, we get through that and go again next season.
well, just for yourself and Craig and Darren and all these people. It wouldn't be a Premier League weekend without Man United going into some sort of record books. Sure, it
Oh,
wouldn't.
here we go. Yeah,
So I don't know if you're saying this, but you're now the
yeah, seeing
fourth
that
highest
picture. Yeah,
waterfall.
yeah,
You're now
yeah,
the fourth highest waterfall in the UK,
yeah. Seeing that.
55 meters.
And you know
So
what's mad? We've been all the fans have been talking about this for years about the state of the place. You know, they gave the outside a lick of paint during the summer just to appease the fans and say, "Oh, look what we're doing." But that what happened on yesterday afternoon, I think, was bound to happen at some stage. And I'm actually glad it did happen because people from the outside can see that there's been no investment made. Ineos have come in now and said Carrington isn't even fit for purpose. You know, if they hadn't come in, the Glazers would have been just happy to see things tick over and tick over. And like I said before, Curtis, my sister's fiance, her brother or his brother, sorry, Eric played for the under 18s and stuff. So he'd given Curtis an indication of what the facilities are like, you know, behind the scenes. And Curtis and my dad had been down there before and stuff like that at matches to watch Eric and stuff, you know. And you look at the likes of Spurs and the training ground and the facilities and City as well. City have the mini stadium across from the Etihad, and they have the training facilities there. Like, they're world class. You know, they've looked at the likes of Barcelona and Madrid and stuff. What they've done, we're an absolute shambles of a club. The they need to invest, and I'm actually delighted these videos and these pictures are coming out, because it will hopefully get Sir Jim working faster than he probably thought he should be doing, So yeah, it's a shambles all around.
How long does it take to go up onto a roof and repair it? Like,
100%.
You know what I mean? It's just for a club that's like, supposed to be the richest club in the world and all this kind of thing, and all the, one of the biggest clubs in the world and all this kind of thing. Those scenes yesterday, it could be so unavoidable, because what it does is it just arms people with more. You know what I mean? And to see the water running down off the hospitality windows and down through the steps and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's, I thought those scenes yesterday. And listen, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I've every reason to go in and absolutely obliterate Man United for the 30 years that I went through. You know what I mean? But it at times it's actually pitiful to see it. Like it's
malice, and I've never once in my life seen a roof leaking at a League of Ireland game. Granted, not a lot of them have roofs. The ones you look at Tallaght Stadium, like, it's an amazing stadium. Like, you'd never see something like that. It's well kept, and these are smaller clubs on a much smaller budget. How are they able to do it? Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Championship. League One. You look at Bloomfield Road. There's a hotel in there. They have the best of facilities in Bloomfield Road at Blackpool. Again, working on a smaller budget. How are they doing it? Like,
yeah, it's just it's
it was
crazy.
Warren, but like I said, I'm glad it happened, because people's eyes are getting open to the state of the club, like I said, from top to bottom, and on and off the pitch. So it was much needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Nearly 80 minutes gone, still 3-1 to Liverpool, of course. Talk to me about this all but done. No disrespect to any Luton fans who have subscribed or are in the chat and stuff like that, but know your numbers up. So how have you felt about this situation this season with what's happened? Obviously, Burnley trying to play a brand of football but going down. Luton, I really felt for Rob Edwards. He was very, very upset about it and stuff like that and all. And you could see he's a guy who all season has been wearing his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
But obviously Forest surviving against all the odds with points deductions and all this kind of stuff and all. How Sheffield United, I think from the go-get, we kind of had a feeling they were going to be one of the three anyway.
Yeah.
But how have you felt? Burnley is an interesting one, isn't it? Because Company has kind of stuck to his guns. He's wanted to play a certain brand of football. Is that to the detriment? How do you feel about that? Should things have changed? Not necessarily him. Let's park whether he should have went or stayed or whatever.
Yeah.
But should he have changed it up to try and get some results on the board?
Well, do you know what? I had them dead and buried in January time, January, February. I just thought them and Sheffield United were head on, knocked on to go. And over the last probably month and a half, 2 months, would you say, that they've started to build up a few little results here and there to kind of make you think they might change? Obviously, they had a massive result against us, which I wouldn't have saw coming, but you would have to say fair play to the owners. The owners have been very, very patient. We spoke at Christmas time about him going, and I think Morris was one of the advocates for that as well in the chat there and stuff. Obviously, he believed in the style of football. That's what got them up from the Championship. And I'd always said this: it's a different place to do that in the Championship, and then come to the Premier League and try to do it. You're trying to play football a Man City way, with not having the players that City have and the quality they have, and a lot of the time you're going to get caught out, and that's what happened for the first kind of first part of the season. And it's in it for me. I think it's probably given the fans a bit of false hope over the last few weeks, because obviously they picked up some, and
he's kept them in it.
Yeah, they like, remember the performance against Chelsea and Stamford Bridge and stuff like that, and like I said, against us and all. They've been digging out these performances when they know they've needed it. It's just, if they had done that in the first half of the season, maybe picked up a draw here, a win there, they'd be in a different position. But I don't necessarily feel sorry for Company, if I'm being honest. And I know that might sound harsh, but I don't feel sorry for him. He should have possibly changed it up slightly. There are times you look at it, you have to put your stubbornness aside and say, right, I can't go out and play expansive football and open up. Maybe we tighten it up and maybe try catch teams on the break or something like that, stop them from winning rather than you going out and try to win,
Yeah, beautiful shot there from Trent. Emi Martinez with the save. Yeah, no, I mean, that would be my view on it. Like, I have a lot of respect for Vincent Kompany and stuff like that. What a fabulous player and all he was. And,
Definitely.
you know, and I spoke about that goal he scored against Leicester, 30 yards out against Casper to kind of, keep that league season going that time and keep us out of it and stuff like that and all. But I just think, you know, if that's me or you, and listen, we've no credibility compared to him in the game and stuff like that. But if that's me or you, I'm looking at that going, this isn't working. You know, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to mix things up a little bit. Maybe I'm going to go a little bit more prudent and maybe even try and pick up a few draws and a few 1 points and stuff like that, just to put something on the board so we've something to show. You know, and at times then, if you want to play the likes of the Lutons or the Sheffield Uniteds, then go out maybe and express yourself and stuff like that when the time is right. But they just tried he stuck to his guns and stuff like that. And I know Darren throughout the season found that, like, you know, a very positive thing for him, that he had a plan and he stuck to it and stuff like that. And Darren was even saying, even if they do go down and stuff like that, they'll go down, they'll probably come back up and all that kind of thing. And, you know, who knows? Maybe Vincent Kompany might not want to stay there. Who knows what the plan is? You know what I mean? He might have bigger aspirations on his own career and stuff like that.
I've said this before on the show, because there could be someone out there in Europe thinking, I like that style of play, and we have more quality in the team here, so we might bring him here and see how he does here in whatever team is looking at him, you know. But I think from a Forest point of view, I think what's gotten them over the line this season is the Premier League experienced players that they have there, the likes of your Gabe White and your Hudson Odoi, your Chris Wood and stuff like that. There's something that Luton and Burnley don't have, so I think that's what's going to got them over the line. Listen, they've been absolutely woeful at the back, but they've scored a lot of goals when you look at it this season, and I think, like I said, I think that's what dug them out a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, Villa just scored 3-2.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking there. Here's McAllister on his arse.
Yeah, I mean, he did a fabulous job at Anderlecht as well when he was there, obviously, which led to the Burnley job and stuff like that and all, you know. So,
McAllister gave the ball away. Van Dijk passed it out to him. He got caught out. Duran, I think it is, great finish into the bottom right corner.
He's been very impressive for Villa when he's played as well, Duran.
Yeah, he scores some cracking goals, doesn't he?
Darren's a big fan of him, actually. Darren has mentioned him a lot this season. So yeah, Warren's in 3-2 now to Liverpool. So let's see how the last
5 minutes and whatever's added on.
Probably another 5 add on as well. There's been a bunch of subs as well. So Osmany Red is in, big up. 3-2. Big up Henry. Big up Henry. Yeah, absolutely 3-2. So let's see. What a game.
Liverpool on the attack as well now. Nunez. Brings out the save of Martinez.
There you go. 2 games coming up midweek. Obviously, tomorrow night we've got Tottenham versus Man City, and obviously Wednesday then it's Newcastle, isn't it? United and Newcastle.
Yeah.
How do you see them going?
Well, if there's more rain, there'll be a lot of umbrellas in Old Trafford. That's all I know. I think tomorrow night, listen, it should be a really good game. Obviously, but you don't know what Spurs are going to show up. Do you? Like, 1 week they can be excellent, the next week they can show up and concede to Burnley and make it difficult for themselves. I just feel if City get an early goal, I think this could be game over, and it's about how many. But you'd like to see Spurs go out, stay tight at the back and keep to their game plan and hopefully create a few chances. But like I said, if Spurs score, I think if score first, it'd be a more interesting game. I just feel if City score first, it's going to be game over, and I think they'll tick away, and obviously they go into Sunday knowing what they have to do, you know.
Yeah, well, no matter what happens, we're going to the final game of the season, and that's what was most important out of yesterday's match and stuff like that. Look at this fraud head coming in.
View, you'd want to see a draw, you know, that sort of way, or obviously a Spurs win, you know, from a neutral point of view or from an Arsenal point of view, you know. But it should be interesting on Sunday either way.
Oh, we're after scoring there, are we? Darwin Nunez just scored, did he? Or is he offside?
Yeah, offside. 4-2.
Yeah. No, was he offside?
Offside, yeah.
Craig now is saying 3-3. Good Lord.
Is it? Oh, Craig. Craig must be over there in Villa Park. He's messaging him.
He's lashing them in. His Sky box is working much better than mine. Warren, no, this will help. Give it over, Craig, is it? It's hardly 3-3, is it? Maybe it is, I don't know. I called the draw in the preview anyway, so
So yeah,
look
right.
at look at this guy in this Highland fraud here coming in. Nunes brings out it is 3-3. Aston Villa just equalised. Nunes brings out a save from a crossbar. He does, when he scores, he's offside. Chelsea versus Brighton on Wednesday night.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Wait till you see the goal. Have you got it there?
It's coming through now. It's on the way
wait
through
till you
now.
see this.
Tom
Hanks giving it socks. He is in the crowd.
I know, yeah. Forrest Gump running like 3-3. Good
Lads,
Lord.
what? Cause wait till you see that goal. Duran again. But who? Oh man, that was unreal.
Any idea who's being televised? That's when you know. They're all being televised. Rona's going, what the fuck? Are we surprised?
Dudes, what the hell? It's so open, this game. It's great.
I said it to you half time. I said, this is mad open, this game. This could have been.
I'm trying to see where did it hit Duran. I thought he got a shin on it. Is it his knee, lads, or what? It's man.
Excuse, yeah. It just hits him and just deflects a car past Alisson, doesn't it? Alisson's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know where it hits him. It's like he does nearly, it's come off the back of his heel nearly and up over. Oh no, it comes off his knee.
That's what I thought it was his shin at the start. It looks like his knee.
Good Lord.
You'll take it.
Yeah, Daz is in. Who's being televised on Sunday, on Sky? Normally they do, don't they? They do both games, don't they? They'd have
Sky will have 2 games. They probably have the Arsenal and City game, but they probably have 3 games actually. They'll have one of the relegation.
Remember years ago when they used the split screen it and stuff like that and all? It was class.
I remember myself and Curtis were in the Woolshed one year. We were playing Wigan and Chelsea were going for it. I can't remember who they were playing, but we bet Wigan anyway. Giggsy scored as well, and they had the split screen in the Woolshed. It was great crack, great crack.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Those were the days I could go out and watch it, but you know yourself, hands full now.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Great news for Bournemouth today.
Yeah,
Raola.
He's
signed on.
Yeah, up there with my I call him, for me. He's up there with manager of the season. Obviously, I call Emery, but I call him and Gary O'Neill. Obviously, Gary O'Neill wasn't involved. He was in the last 5. I think it was 5, wasn't it? But he's had a fantastic season there, unbelievable. He 9 minutes added on.
9 minutes.
So what's that? Another 4 goals incoming, yeah.
Do you know what this game is the definition of? This game will tell you just how much we hate Spurs this season. That's all I'm putting it out there. It's what we do, mate. It's what we do. It's what we do, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting 9 minutes, lads. Strap yourself in.
9 minutes added on, I tell you. This is where we need to be springing Collymore on the boys from the bench. 4 weeks until the Euros. I can't wait, Acers. I can't wait.
4 weeks. That's going to fly in as well, Acers, man.
Where's he got 9 from? I think Ange rang him. You know that the best manager in London. He rang him and told me he wanted 9 minutes. There you go. So
Hughes made 4 subs at one stage together. Yeah. Then Villa have been making subs. He's had the VAR checks as well. So, and by the way, that's a minimum of 9 minutes. If something happens in injury time as well,
yeah, you've 10 or 11. Yeah. Listen, it's all good. It's what we do, mate. What we do. I'm all good with it. Yeah, I was absolutely delighted to hear this news today.
It's great news, isn't it?
And especially at a time where he's another manager as well who could be, he could be catapulted into a big job and do very, very well as well, so it's
like I said here last week or 2 weeks ago, because I think if they can keep the players they have, i.e. Solankes and stuff like that, and add to that squad, they could push. If they get a good run, I think they could push for the like the Conference League or the Europa League. That kind of ilk. So, I think definitely they could do that.
Yeah, I mean, this season has been a very, very good season. Yeah, Celtic legend. Yeah, best manager in the Premier, man. Yeah, it's what we do, mate. It's what we do.
Oh,
there we go.
Villa just had a great chance there. Skied it over the bar, though. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, all good. Yeah. What about? I mean, how do you see it?
Sorry, it was a save off Alisson. I thought initially it just went straight out.
No, save by the angle went off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what he does, isn't it? That's why he comes up clutch at those times all the time. Great
It
save.
just caught out of the corner of my eye that time.
Yeah. Fantastic save. As always, outstretched arm.
Oh, looks like an elbow on Van Dijk.
What a Villa worried about? They got the draw. We're giving them the draw. It's what we do, mate.
Villa are looking for a handball. I think it looked like Van Dijk got elbow in the head at one stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Torres is asking questions of the referee.
Sure, it's your man, isn't it? What's his name?
Sorry, Cuz, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Look, how do you see it panning out over the next week?
I think we'll be hammered by Newcastle. Oh, sorry.
You could bet the mortgage on that, basically, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think City will get the win tomorrow. I'll take it into the last day, and I can see them doing what they do. Like if they went 1-0 down on Sunday or whatever, it would give like Arsenal fans hope. But we've seen it before. Remember against Villa that time, Gundogan scored at the back post and stuff. So I can just see them doing it, unfortunately, and making a 5 in a row.
Pacers, they only are if they get a point tonight. So mathematically, they're not in there yet. I know we're expecting City to beat Spurs tomorrow night, but mathematically, they're not in there yet.
Alisson landed awkwardly there.
City have double wrapped up. City have the double wrapped up Pacers.
Nice one, nice. You're not wrong with it.
That was nasty. Yeah. Yeah, saying it, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Salah on the attack. Or Nunez. Oh, he tried to play Salah in. Who's it falling there? Oh. It was Gapco had a shot there. Jesus, it's end to end, lads. It's like a basketball game here.
Yeah, it's mad. We'll stick with it before the end of the show anyway.
Absolutely.
We'll right till the end.
David Luiz is in a Villa top in the crowd. Fair play to him. Did you see it in a second?
David Luiz in a Villa. What else did we want to talk about? Oh, I see him there now, yeah. In the old school tracking.
Yeah, he can't beat them ones, man, I tell you.
Yeah. Surely that has to be a wig.
It
was too perfect. It was too perfect. Did you see the fringe and all? That was too perfect. It's like an old school Evil Knievel helmet or something. That was crazy.
Love it.
That was crazy. It's great to look at matches like this, isn't it? Where both teams are going at it end to end.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? These are the matches that advertise the Prem, really, aren't they? Like these are the ones that people get excited about.
3-all, man.
3-all, 3-all.
There's no letting up either. Just while we're at pause for a sec, I just want to say congratulations to Minutes under 17 team that won a cup out in the Oscar Trainer yesterday, or the AUL complex. Sorry. Fair play to me friend Keith, his manager there, and Lucan United girls on the 13 won a trophy there in the AUL yesterday as well. So congratulations to them. Plenty of finals out there the last weekend, so the weekend just gone as well. So
I wanted to ask you about the championship. We didn't get to talk about it last week with Tony on. Leicester obviously getting promoted, Ipswich getting promoted. McKenna's at the game tonight with Southgate. What's your feeling on Ipswich? I was saying to Ben earlier. Little bit of old school education. Ipswich is not a place where teams want to go either. It's another dodgy place to go to try and get results and stuff like that.
It is, especially 2 promotions in 2 seasons. The way he has been playing as well is been brilliant. He's gotten lucky with a few players he's brought in and loan have worked out really well, and they've gelled into the team. And obviously, I said this to Yvonne as well. I know this mightn't seem much. It's kind of like Wrexham a bit, but they have Ed Sheeran there as a kind of moral boost, that he comes into the change room and all, and he's just around the club. So that's great for the lads. But McKenna, what he's done has been nothing short of a miracle, A lot of even United fans were slagging him when he was at United under Solskjaer and stuff, and he showed, listen, like Carrick has done a decent job at Middlesbrough last season. They were thereabouts for the playoff spots, and it just kind of fell a bit short around February time. I think they started losing and drawing a few games, and obviously teams around them, because they play twice a week, just leapfrogged over them. But it was great to see it. Leicester, Leicester for me, were always going to win the league at the start of the season. They kept the squad and added 1 or 2 names to it. They had the spirit. Like Vardy didn't play an awful lot of minutes this season, but when he did come off the bench, he almost always scored. And
it was the step up. The likes of Dewsbury Hall and all stepped up.
That's it. And like, if they can hold on to him. I know there was a few clubs looking at him and stuff like that. If they can hold on to him and a few others, and I think they'll do. I think they'll be, they'd be probably from fourth. They'd be finished 14th or 15th next season. They'd be definitely safe, But it'd be interesting, obviously, with the two games that finished in it all yesterday or last night. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. So both of them games finished in it all. So it's going to be an interesting game next week, And then obviously with the playoff finals to look forward to as well.
Who's your pick to go through to the final?
At the start, I thought to myself, because you know yourself, you always want, like last season I wanted Luton to do it because Luton had never been there. You obviously always want a team that hasn't been there. But looking at the teams there, Norwich, Leeds, West Brom, I'd like to see Southampton go back up, if I'm being honest with you.
Interesting. And Leeds with such a poor record in the playoffs. They
didn't do themselves any favours in the last few games in the league and stuff like that. Some of the results and obviously Ipswich took advantage of that. But I like to see Southampton go on and do it.
QPR game was really the telling one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was on the Friday night, wasn't it? 2 weeks last week or the week before, I think it was. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. To be honest with you, Southampton, I thought were decent. Towards the back end of the season, because I think at the start of March, I think they were down at 9th or 10th or whatever, and obviously Coventry, everyone was talking about Coventry, the run they'd gone on, they'd be in the playoffs. But I'd like to see Southampton go up. Who do you fancy yourself, cuz?
You know something, I want Leeds to get through to the playoff final. Because the likes of Norwich coming up is just a waste of time. They'll just take the money and go back down.
Yeah,
so I've no real interest in either of them. Southampton back in would be another interesting one. St Mary's again, another tough place to go when you're looking for a few points and stuff like that and all. So they have Southampton and Ipswich. Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester. I wonder, could we see a season where the three teams survive?
Yeah,
tough places to go, you know what I mean? And teams that tend to.
Them three, I know you could talk about the other team, but like they are old school Premier League teams that the last three you just mentioned there, aren't they? When you think about it, like
full time 3-3. Welcome back to European football and the Champions League, Aston Villa. Congrats.
I'm delighted for them, absolutely, and it's well earned over the course of the season. Fair play to Emery. Tom Hanks
shit performance. Klopp out.
Do you reckon he'll have Wilson in the change room getting him autographed by the Villa players now?
I haven't got a clue. Yeah, can you imagine? I don't know.
I'm delighted. They have all the flags out now in Villa Park. Delighted for them.
Yeah,
and not one leaky roof in the stadium. You got to love it.
Yeah,
Villa
Park, far cry from Epstein's Island, isn't it? Just saying. Just saying. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's what I had up earlier. Yeah, Klopp out.
Oh, needs fair play to him.
He's moved on quick. What have you made? I did. We'll finish up with this. I did a little video there the other day. Julian Ward coming back to Liverpool. The band is getting back together, but the lead singer is leaving the building. Does this stink a little bit here? What's going on? Like, would you be questioning now this announcement of being tired and leaving because I'm tired, and with these boys coming back in the window and stuff, coming back in the door and stuff like that? No, obviously Julian Ward returning, Michael Edwards returning, Richard Hughes coming in, Pedro Marquez as well coming in now. Has unbelievable links into the South American leagues and all that kind of stuff and all, and obviously Arnie Slot coming in, being due to be announced. All the paperwork is basically done as head coach. But I think our respect for both teams finishing out their seasons.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about this? These boys parachuting back into Liverpool, who were there previously, and obviously left because of the power play by Jurgen Klopp at the time.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to ask you, sorry, I just want to ask you something. Do you think this might be a reason why some of the potential names linked with the job didn't take it, because obviously the club would have had said, listen, such and such is coming back in, such and such. So maybe it might have put them off slightly. How do you feel about that?
I don't think it would have put them off. I think if you want to get a manager, and I say I don't know a whole lot about Arnie Slot at all. I hope he comes in and he does really, really well and is successful and stuff like that. But I think we're moving into a very different era now. I think we're moving into an era now where that control that managers have, with the exception of kind of Pep and Carlo, obviously, doesn't exist anymore. And I think a lot of teams at the moment, even your own team, if you look at the backroom staff you're putting in there at the moment for scouting and technical directors and sporting directors and, directors of football and all that kind of stuff, even if you don't stick with Ten Hag and you bring a manager in, it'll be interesting to see what influence that manager will have on signings. Yeah. They call them head coaches now. They don't even call them, like we heard it even with Poch. Remember back in the day with Poch turning around and going, well, I'm not the manager, I'm just a coach. So we've heard a lot of this in the past. But I think a lot of teams are going to go this route now. And I think if you're one of those elite managers from back when, the likes of Jose or, Conte or Tuchel or managers like that, they'd find it difficult to operate in that. And I think it would be the same for Jurgen as well. If he doesn't have a big, big influence on players coming in, I think it's difficult for him to palate it. And I think that was a lot of the breakup originally with Michael Edwards, that they just came to loggerheads on a lot of signings. And then Julian Ward stepped in, and I think Julian Ward had a crazy year there, where he had recommended a number of players. I think one of the stories came out that what he had done is they had heavily recommended Nkunku, and it was ignored for Darwin or something like that, So that story came out. A lot of different stories come out. We've heard the Michael Edwards ones where Klopp wanted a couple of boys out of Dortmund and he was refused them, and we ended up getting Mane and Salah, and sure, the rest is history. So it's sometimes it's not a bad thing, but I just gotta, I got this feeling that when Klopp leaves, I think we're going to see him back in work pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now, it may not necessarily be in a frontline manager's position. It might be something different. But I think we're going to see him back in working football pretty quick. Yeah. And that might dispel the notion of the tiredness. I have a funny feeling that the Michael Edwards deal was done a long time ago. And obviously we know about the documentary as well.
Yeah.
That didn't sit well with him either. But there's something where I'm encouraged about the structures that they're putting in and going back in. There's something smelly about the end of how this Klopp era is coming to. And
so
there's
you
a lot
don't
of
think
stuff
he's going to take a sabbatical like Pep did? That's why I'm just take a year or so, whatever it is.
It depends. It depends on what's out there and what's on offer and stuff like that. There's talk about going in as actually, funny enough, talk about going in somewhere as a director of football was spoken about last week. Can't remember where it was. It might have been Dortmund or something like that. I'm not too sure. Yeah, definitely not. You imagine. But yeah, no, it just felt like all these guys coming parachuting back in. He's going out the door. Do we really believe that Michael Edwards went over to FSG in Boston in March and trashed out this deal? Yeah. I think it was already done and there was just a timing thing. Klopp's announcement out of nowhere. I just don't know. I put it out there the other day as a bit of a conspiracy theory, if you like, but I don't know. It's a very, very it's a strange one, It's really, really strange. Morris heard Leo Varadkar worked on United's roof. There you go. I have massive concerns about what has been going on at Liverpool. I have a massive conspiracy theory about it. Niall knows what I think. Yeah, absolutely. Similar thinking. Ted, I have thought Klopp might have gone to the German job when he first announced he was finishing at Liverpool. Yeah, no, I just don't know.
A lot of people thought that,
yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange one. Right, well, that's it. Second last Monday mashup of the season in the bag. Yeah, we got one to go. I'll be back tomorrow evening at 7, I think it is, for Pro Wrestling Weekly, where we'll be going through all the latest pro wrestling news and all that kind of good stuff that we do. Thursday, I'll be back with Darren for the final Thursday tier talk of the season.
Mad, isn't it? Like,
and we'll have our beat the bookie picks and all that kind of good stuff. And then I'll have one final preview on the Shankly sessions for the Liverpool Wolves game. It's going to be a tough week for us as Reds fans emotionally with Klopp exiting the building and stuff like that. So it's not going to be an easy week, that's for sure. And we'll see what happens. Kind of going out a bit on a whimper, really. Expected a lot more, but sure, it is what it is.
But you're trying to say goodbye to him, so you know yourself.
Klopp's going to Dundalk to work with Noel King. That's my conspiracy. Give over you.
You could be right, Morris. You're in the know-how, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, until next time, we're in the final week of the season. Let's see how it all pans out. Tomorrow night should be electric, and Wednesday night should just be very enjoyable if you're a Liverpool fan.
That's it.
That's all I can say. So, for myself and Marky, until next time, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like in the video. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers, cuz.
Cheers, cuz.